Last weekend I was taking my wife for a walk through Livermore, and I saw a bumper sticker that said, "Napa makes auto parts, Livermore makes wine." And that just made me laugh so hard. To those who don't live in this area, let me explain. I live in Livermore, California, in the East San Francisco Bay Area, and it's a bit of a diamond. There are these hills that are just geologically perfect for growing wine. And because of that, we have about 50 wineries here in Livermore. They are amazing places. And Napa in Northern California is often thought of as premier California wine country. So there's a little contentiousness going on, and I just find that hilarious. But the wineries are a huge boon to the businesses in this area. And not just for the fact that they make wine, but for many of the other things they do. So I'd like to talk about that. Thank you for watching. One of my favorite things about the wineries, especially being a video producer, is they provide filming locations. Even if you're not on the winery itself, if you are on a street corner, a just public area, you can easily take a photo shoot of someone with lines of grapes behind them. And depending on the season, it can be very different. It can be verdant green, or it can be bare, but it has such uniform look to it with their lines. It's just absolutely fascinating. And because most of these areas don't have large buildings on them, they usually take up quite an amount of acreage. When you film, you can get incredible vistas of the Livermore Valley behind you, and it's just absolutely gorgeous every time. And I am so grateful to all the wineries that have let me film there. The other great part about having wineries is the fact that a lot of them also operate as event centers. Even the smallest ones will rent out their lawns and their barns to be event centers. And they're usually quite wonderful. They are far away from most residents, so no one gets worked up about the noise. There are usually plenty of parking, so it's easy to go to. And of course, there's wine right there on site. But that also means that there's corporate events, weddings, all sorts of events that are being done in these places. And they are so open and free in order to film at. Next to all the event centers that are in really compact cities where parking is really tight and you may get vandalized while you're at the center, these wineries are just worth their weight in gold because of it. Another thing that I adore about the wineries is the people. Now, Livermore is the home of Lawrence Livermore Labs, and I was surprised, somewhat, to find out that a lot of wineries were owned by people who used to work at the lab. They retired, they had a lot of money saved up, they wanted to do something fun, and they went into winemaking. When you talk to many of these people, they are some fascinating human beings. Not all of them were nuclear science technicians. Many of them had much more humble jobs, but they came from areas of just incredible stress. They had to be very careful, they had to be very deliberate, and now they're working in a field that just makes them feel happy. Some wineries are owned by generations. Some of them have been around for over 100 years. It's just fascinating to talk to the people who run these wineries and to hear their stories. They're just remarkable every time. Another thing that's absolutely wonderful about the wineries is the opportunities they give for unique gifts and giveaways for businesses. If you put your logo on a bunch of baseball caps and handed them out, I mean, that's great. Tote bags, that's great. Those kind of giveaways are always wonderful. But if you can get a winery to print a special label on their wine that has your business logo on it as well as theirs, then that is something absolutely special. People will remember you for it. And most people will absolutely say, free bottle of wine, ooh, please let me have that. So the giveaways, the group activities, the opportunities, the rental opportunities of these places is just an absolute bottomless gold mine. I've only scratched the surface and seen some of the examples of what people have been able to do with their creativity, and I want to see more. Another thing that a lot of people don't consider when talking about Livermore wine country is the astonishing array of activities that they offer. I just wrote down a few examples. They offer tours, tastings, history lessons, education, tourism, art, food pairings. And once you start going to the individual wineries, asking what they offer and trying them, I don't think you'd be bored for months. There are so many things that they do. They have branched out. They offer so many interesting services that once you're there in the beautiful surroundings of a winery and you are enjoying your favorite glass of red, white, whatever, there are so many other things that you can do. And that is a great gift for you, your clients, your guests, anyone that you can think of. You can take them out to wine country and find something for just about anyone. And a special shout out to Three Steves Winery, who have been exceptionally gracious to me for years. Thank you for watching. I'm Michael Bruner of Brogan Video. Remember, at its best, video is a tool for genuine communication between people, as it should be. So, get out there and share your heart.